Alright, it finally happened. I'm finally making this video. Oh, I hoped I would never have to do this. For real, no, I had faith. I had faith and hope, and I thought I will never have to make this video. No one needs to hear me say this. This is all common sense and obvious. And we as a community are full of love and encouragement, and we are. The majority are. The toxic minority are so small that this doesn't matter. Right? Right? The toxic minority of critters are so small that we'll never notice them. Right? I'm hilarious. Alright. I love the Critical Role fandom. I really do. I have been lucky. I joined about a third of the way through campaign 1, so I got to see the campaign like all the way through, and I got to see the critter community grow and grow and grow, and the cast get crazily excited by how much we grew and by how many more people were coming in. The problem is, the more people you have, statistically, the more crap people you are going to have. Now, it's always the minority of people who are toxic, and of that group, again, an even smaller minority who are awful. But unfortunately, those people have got very, very, very loud recently, and it's driving everyone friggin' insane, so well done. Here's a video happening. We are here to watch a show that we get to watch for free. You do not have to pay to watch Critical Role. You can pay to subscribe to Twitch and you can pay to buy merchandise, but like, you do not have to pay to watch this show. You can get all this show for free, and yet people still think that they can complain about it. This is not a show with writers and scripts that you can complain about because they're doing it wrong. This is people improvising a game of Dungeons and Dragons. That's why we're here, right? When the creators of this show, like the DM and the actors playing their characters, when they feel that they have to take to social media and defend themselves, defend what their characters are doing, defend what they do as a DM, something is horribly wrong, and it's the toxic minority of people doing it. And I'm calling you people, not critters. You are not critters. A real critter has love and embraces the fandom in whatever way they want. They can participate in discussions or not. They can just watch the show or not. Either way, it is done with love, and that is it. So you guys who are being all toxic and spreading hate, you are not critters at all. And you may as well leave the fandom and never watch the show again for the amount of good that you are not doing. Matt Mercer has had to go on Twitter today and defend his actions as a dungeon master, none of which were wrong. He has had to defend the fact that he rolled a random encounter for his players who improvised a reaction to this, which meant that Jester, yeah, there's spoilers in this video, which meant that Jester ended up getting a big piece of information, and as a price for that, she ended up aging up 4 to 5 years. Jester didn't care. She found out what happened to her, said, well, we got all this information, and she didn't care. So therefore, why do you? It's not like she was aged down into a minor and this is now causing problems. No. She was grown from an adult into an adult. What is your problem? I'm not even going to address that very much because it's so friggin' ridiculous. You guys need to just stop. So that portion of the hate, just, you know you're ridiculous. You're probably not even watching this video. So just. The big thing for me is to remember that this is a game of D&D that we are watching people play. This is not a dating simulator. We should be here for the story, the adventures, the fights, the interactions between characters, the growth of characters. Now, yes, this might involve relationships, but shipping and that is fun, and Mercer has said it's fun and it's a good way to engage, but it should always come second to the story and the characters. That should be why we're here. If you're just here because you want to watch a bunch of people get together, then I don't think this is the show for you. The other thing Mercer said about shipping was that it has to be engaged in a healthy way. And this is where the fandom is breaking down right now, because you've got people who are happy to go with whatever, like me. Hi, I ship people, I think it's fun. I don't ship everybody, I ship whoever I feel, personally, I think, goes together. But I don't get mad, I don't care, whatever happens, happens. It's their choice and their characters. And if nobody gets together, that's also fine. These people don't owe us anything. They're giving us content for free. We get to watch it. We are not in charge of what happens. I have seen some tweets in response to what happened between Ford and Jester going, well, until she outright rejects Caleb, I don't accept it. Bearing in mind that in game, she doesn't even know he likes her. Like that. Jester is not a prize to be won by whoever can make the most convincing argument. She is a character with her own agency, and she has made her decision. She made her decision in episode 1, pre-episode 1, pre the campaign beginning. She said who she liked. All right? And it's fine. It's honestly fine. If your immediate reaction to something not going your way is to have such an overreaction of hate, that you are spewing hate to the cast members and you are just being so horrendously toxic that you are making people like Matt Mercer have to tweet and get angry on behalf of himself and his friends and the game and the characters that they are playing, that they created, please do something in your own life, because I can only assume here, but like there is something there. I feel like the worst of the toxic people in our community, they are the ones who are projecting like crazy. Now, it's not all of you, but I'm going to use this as an example, all right? So maybe you really, really like Caleb. Maybe you associate with him greatly as a character, and maybe you really, really, really wanted him and Jester to get together. All right, cool. You're allowed to want that. That is absolutely fine. I love Caleb. I think he's brilliant. I too think he deserves happiness. I feel like it gets to a hindrance and a projecting level when you are so invested in this that you start looking for any tiny little thing that could mean that this is happening. There are some people claiming that they are being shipped because the artwork has them standing near each other. Bit of a reach, guys. Friendships can be just as sweet and gentle and romantic as romantic relationships. Okay? Now, we know out of game that Caleb fancies Jester. Alright, cool. Bo fancied her for a little bit too. She's friggin' great. Everyone should fancy her. She's amazing. Alright? But that does not mean that either of them are owed her affection. Okay? Fancying someone does not mean that you are owed their affection. There was moments where Caleb was saying, when Jester had aged up, he was saying sweet things like, well, you look great. You still look great. Okay, that does not mean that they need to be together, because by that logic, a guy who shouts at you on the street and says, you've got a nice ass, do you think that you now have to be with him? Does he deserve to be with you because he said something nice to you? Or nice. He says something to you that is complimentary. That means that you need to be together, right? No. These people are amazing friends. If some of them get together, that's great. It is not our business to decide who does what, okay? I really thought when I made this video I'd be complaining about the rules lawyers who like clog up the live chat complaining about how they play their game, but no, it's shippers. How has it got so ridiculous that Matt Mercer is having to defend people and get angry? You made Matt Mercer angry! Do you have any idea how little that happens? Now, again, just to compare campaign 1 to campaign 2, all right? Now, there was less people in the fandom. Oh, what a happy time it was. Campaign 1, Matt Mercer outwardly, like on social media, only got angry like less than a handful of times. Campaign 2, oh my lord. It's still not very often, because to make Matt Mercer actually that angry, it's happened more often though. Now, yeah, the fandom is bigger. Great! I want more people to see this. I want more people to be interested in D&D and for it to divulge into other things, and great, awesome. That will mean that statistically we do have more likelihood of having toxic people. That doesn't make it okay, all right? You can be upset, you can be disappointed. You are completely allowed to feel that way. You can express your feelings. You can still do fan fiction, you can still do artwork, you can still do AUs, you can do anything you want with the characters that you love and how you want to portray them. But what you do not do is make our fandom a toxic, gross place to be, because you are sending hate to these poor people who are just making a show that we all supposed to love. And do not send hate to each other as well. Whether or not you are shipping the same people, whether or not you're doing the same artwork, whatever it is you are doing. Not hate, just love. This is critical role, guys. We are critters, okay? Critters love each other. You do realize if this continues that there's going to be no campaign 3, right? Like, this is how you get shows cancelled. This is how, as Matt Mercer said in one of his tweets earlier today, he said this is what puts him off not just engaging with the community, this puts him off actually wanting to make the content in the first place. Imagine what would happen if, because a bunch of you decided that you got pissed off that you didn't get the ship that you wanted and caused such big hate, these people feel so bad that they take it back and they start just playing at home and they don't broadcast anymore. Imagine, just imagine with me for a while now. It's a big leap, but imagine, okay? Mercer has already talked about how he has anxiety over things and he worries about stuff, and when people start getting hateful and angry on the internet, he gets really worried and it upsets him and he has to try and overcome that. Well friggin' done, guys. Well done. You upset a cast of people who are just doing something they love. Sort your own lives out or get out of the fandom, because it's not okay. Alright? I want a campaign 3. I want these people to keep doing what they love. I love every single one of you in this community. I really do. But for some of you, I am worried and it's just getting real hard. Love each other. Be the better people that we can see in this world. I believe in you. And another thing, how do you think this is making Liam feel? Like, he is happy for his friends to do what they do. He didn't create this character with the sole intention of shipping with Jester. He created this character to, you know, explore the character and whatever. Guys, he hasn't even said anything yet. As of recording this video, Liam hasn't said anything yet. If I was him, I would be so embarrassed. So embarrassed on behalf of people who claim to be relating to my character and claim to be all for him shipping with somebody. Like, to clarify, shipping is fine, but getting this hateful over it is not.